quick shot, they score! And the Riveters get on the board, and amazing! And the Riveters win the Isobel Cup.
I mean, it's probably like minus the first year, the funnest year of hockey I've had. Like, we just dominated, and we kind of knew we were going to win from the beginning. It was like a very different atmosphere.
Yeah, you could definitely feel it that season, like at the start of the season, that we had something special. It's just a matter of, are we going to be able to win that final game?
Are we going to choke when it matters most?
Honestly, I'm thinking about it right now. Like, I'm really thinking hard about it because I feel like with the times right now, if that feels like it was like 6 years ago that we won, but like low key, it was just like two, like, I mean, if a team won this year, it was only like 2 teams that have won now after us. But like, I still consider us champions, you know, every season, even though I didn't play last year. But like, that was the best. Oh my God, I can't even. Everyone's like, you guys, I mean, through social media, they were like, you sellied so hard to win. I'm like, yeah. It was like the Ovechkin of women's hockey. I feel like we really, really took that to the top. We won that too.
Russo,
I was going to say, I think Kiira and Fitz had the best celly there.
Time, and the brick wall is untouched here in Newark. Katie Fitzgerald.
well, ours was in the moment. The buzzer rang. I could not control myself. I went and tackled the goalie like I was a 6-year-old hockey player. Russo's was a little more like, I see the
Let's have a bevy.
photographer. I'm going to capture this moment. I can.
Who like dispersed the dog pile? Because Kiira, I was like on the back of you, and then I remember Fitz's face was just like panic, and she's like, I can't breathe. And somebody came in the back and was like, guys, Fitz can't breathe, and like started ripping people off.
I don't even remember the pile. I just remember I had like these crazy hands and I was crying. I was like looking around for someone to hug and no one was there for me to hug for at least 25 seconds. I was like,
Was it you, Becca, that sprayed champagne directly in my eyes?
yeah, that was me.
Popped the bottle and just right in both my eyes.
The amount of champagne I drank from those bottles is zero. The amount of champagne that's on Barnabas's walls and ceilings, at least 10 bottles.
The floor too. The floor is really
Oh my God.
flooded.
The floor.
Flooded.
I remember when Courtney and I went to go get our equipment, like 25 months later. Like the amount of dried champagne that was on my skates, and then I think like we like went to go like have like skate somewhere, and like I literally almost died because of like the rust that was on my blades from the champagne, because I weirdly kept my skates on when we celebrated. I was like, but oh my God, I wish that could happen again like tomorrow, because that was so fun.
Something that I've never asked you guys, because you all played in the game. I didn't dress that game, so I was watching from the stands, and I don't know, but I think I was way more nervous than you guys were on the ice. I know if I had been on the ice, I would be possibly a little bit less nervous, but like there's something about watching and like not being on the bench or on the ice that just, you have so much. I had anxiety through the roof.
That was like the craziest game, and to look at like the final score now, 1-0, I think speaks volume to just like our rivalry with Buffalo. Like it was honestly the craziest rivalry, and obviously I'm looking forward to continuing that this season. But that game was crazy. The amount of fans that we had, like it was like standing room all around the rink. I just remember that game was the most intense game of my life. And obviously, I mean, to me, I get nervous before every single game. I think that was a little different. I mean, once like the first shift was out of the way, but that game was crazy. I remember looking at Packer, like literally like, let's go. And we just like gave each other a look, and then we were freaking like on to the races, and we won. And I'll never forget that ever.
I also think I remember being nervous, obviously, but I also remember feeling so much comfort because we had such a solid plan.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I've ever been a part of a team that had such buy-in to what we were doing and the systems. So like when you get nervous, you know exactly what to do. You know where everyone's going to be, where they should be, like that they're going to be there to back you up. I feel like that had a big impact in just easing nerves and not feeling like panicky at any point.
Yeah, it was almost like 3 years. It was like one game that was defined by 3 years of work before that. Like the first year was like really establishing like, hey, what's our culture? What's our like name gonna be? And like I think having that first year where like we did not have necessarily, well, not even necessarily, we did not have the most talented team. So it was like, all right, we are all gonna work hard. And then that core group that stayed to year 2, we kind of already had that hard work. And then we added like obviously like Russo, Moose, like way more, like more skilled players, and kind of raise that level a little bit. And then year 3, it was just putting it all together. So like exactly like you said, Kiira, it was just such a like almost comfortable position to be in. Like you've prepared for this for 3 years.
I don't really remember like the game. I just remember I think the only thing I thought to myself the whole time was don't take a penalty. Because, like
I probably did too.
Because it's so hard. Like Ilya and I used to go at it like crazy, but she's the kind of player where like if you get under her skin, like we were very similar in that way, where you get under their skin, it just like motivates them and ignites them. So the whole game, I just wanted to turn around and like whack her, but I couldn't because I knew that if they got a power play, like there was a chance that they were going to score because they were such, like Becca said, like it was such an intense rivalry. I feel like because the game was so close, like the whole time, it made the whole experience that much better because it was like such a close back and forth game the whole time. And then it came down to the wire. Like they had a rush with 15 seconds left. Like it was right down to the final minute, and then it just like erupted.
Crazy.
Alexis scoring a goal with their like feet off the ice.
Yeah, that was like the first period, wasn't it? We held 1-0 the whole game.
Yeah, it was pretty early in the first period, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I only remember the last shift because it was such a huge shift. And I remember just like everything was simple and safe.
Didn't they have a draw in our zone? And like it was like a minute 13. I don't know why I remember that number. Okay, maybe it wasn't a minute 13, but I was pretty close.
Ooh, that looked like it was a little. Yeah, it's getting a little feisty.
I was crazy. We have to be like one of the biggest like rivalries in the NWHL. We have to be.
Yeah.
Like, who is bigger than us two?
Also, we all kind of agreed that we could feel it at the beginning. So, like, how do you control feeling it from the beginning?
I think I blacked out at the beginning, at least.
Do you remember the goal? Any of you?
That was like 7,000 minutes ago. That's actually a horrible analogy by me. But that was horrible because
I remember it was like kind of like the was Bobby Orr or Gordie Howe. Like that was flying. Like yeah, it was pretty sick. Like did she shoot it or someone passed and she deflected it or she got the shot off and she came like completely parallel.
It was like top corner or something, right?
Yeah, and she came completely parallel to the boards.
It was actually insane.
Mie made a pretty classic Mie move. Yeah, she won a battle on the board.
Shot, and then Alexa, it came back to Alex, and she just roofed it.
And I remember that right above Prudential, like that's where all the Buffalo players stood right there. It was like bye.
Yeah, you see them all in the back.
Yeah, and like that was like 5.5 minutes into the game, and we held on to that. Like that's pretty damn, like impressive. And what a game.
I actually feel like that clip really sums up our team. Like you don't necessarily notice the battle won on the boards, but that set it all up. And then Mie could have lost the puck there, but she kept chipping away at it and got it to Alexa. And Alexa could have given up when her shot kind of got blocked or she didn't really have room, but she dove through and still somehow got her stick on the puck. Like that was the kind of team we were.
Yeah,
it was just
I feel like all owned our roles like 100%. Which is pretty cool to see.
Like you said,
I remember Chad telling me at the end of the year, he's like, my plan is for us to go undefeated and win the cup.
We did.
It's like dead ass.
Yes, 1-800-RIVS are rolling.
Yeah.
It was consistent. And then it was.
Guess how many penalties we had that game? I feel like this is not characteristic of us.
One.
Sure.
Was it me?
No, it was no one on this call.
D or forward?
D.
I think my mom actually lectured me.
Right.
Was it? I don't even. Who was it?
Actually, really surprising.
Kelsey.
Like, Madison.
Not Kelsey.
Kelly?
Shelly?
Not Shelly. Not that.
Was it Courtney?
Courtney.
Was it? What
I
was it
didn't
for?
find her way in this call.
She never got penalties.
What did she do? I don't remember.
Hooking? Tripping?
Should we like call friends? Get her on. What did you do?
Yeah, FaceTime her right now. Be like, Court, what penalty did you get in this cup game?
It doesn't have it on the thing I'm looking at.
Oh, I need to know.
Ask her if she remembers.
I'm gonna text her right now. I got two penalties in my 3 years. That is impressive right here.
I had a lot of penalties up until the brawl with Buffalo, where I was every day I was at risk of getting suspended. So I've since pretty much gotten almost no penalties.
Proud of you.
Discipline.
Yeah,
I don't
Packer.
see how you even get
Packer, what do you have to say about penalties?
The refs are terrible. Consistently atrocious repping. Body checking.
Is it on Elia? Oh my God, it was on Elia. Oh no.
Oh.
Oh, look at Courtney.
The eye roll.
We had lumber chopping there.
Big slow circle with her head back.
Trying to argue it.
You did get tied up.
I think they might have got a 10-minute. Or might have making that up. I don't know.
I don't know.
Let's see. Buffalo had. Oh, you're right, Moose.
They did?
Van Pelt had a 12-minute.
What?
And Kersey had a penalty, and Greco had a penalty.
How did they have how did we score?
No idea.
I think Madison Packer was being an instigator.
Probably.
Madison being an instigator?
I don't know if I had to guess.
The best games are when Packer instigates, draws a 12-minute penalty, but has 0 penalty minutes on her record. Good sign for us.
Needs to happen more often.
I think you have like a special talent for that.
But then if she like goes down or gets hurt, I'm the first one there, right, Madison?
From 10 feet away. That is real tough from 10 feet away.
No, I got you. I got your back.
And then since I'm in this room in my house, I got to also go to the New Jersey State Capitol and sit in on a General Assembly session. It was pretty sweet being a New Jersey native. And then we got this too, which was basically like a declaration from the General Assembly. I guess it's called an assembly resolution. That's pretty sweet. I don't know if like the league knows I have it or anything. The only one.
Probably shouldn't have shown it, Moose.
I know, but it's too cool not to show. If they want to take it, I guess they can. They're gonna have to, pull it out of my arms, basically.
I don't know if you guys remember, I didn't play the first 5 games. I had hip surgery in the off season. I wasn't going to come back. And so I actually left the ice and went and cried behind the
oh my God.
thing, because it was so it was that wave of emotions. For me personally, I didn't think that it was something that was going to happen. But then also we talked about it before. If you would have asked us when we were practicing at Aviator if we would ever be Isobel Cup champions, I would have put $1 million on the answer being no. It just was such a journey, and it was not. And it didn't really have anything to do with talent. It just was the people in the room bought into it, and we had a good group of people. And I think that what we did was really special, and how we kind of created an environment that people wanted to be a part of, and it just that team culture that we had was a huge part of why we won it. And we saw the next season we still had a lot of the same talent and didn't nearly have the same success. So it was just. I think just the emotions of what we had done and realizing it and getting to share that with a lot of the same people that have been there from the beginning was super special.
Cool. And I'll finish this off here. I definitely say my most favorite moment was lifting the cup right from Danny. That was something that I'll probably never forget. And it was kind of accumulation of 3 years of really buying into something and buying into something that's like much more than just a personal thing. Like obviously you guys all know I'm not the most talented players. I have brick hands for sure. But just buying into something and like getting a core group of people together who believe not just in the team and each other, but also believe in the league and what we're doing, and seeing the impact too that we had on Newark, you know, having a sold out rink, standing room only, seeing everybody who was there, seeing the next generation of players. Like for me to be involved with that for 3 years and have it kind of end there with raising the cup was just couldn't have been a better story.
Agreed. Woo!
Do it again.
We'll do it again next time with the same crew.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Reds, watch out.